Hello and welcome to another podcast of Beyond the Gym. Today I have a fantastic guest, my grandmother. Evelyn, are you ready to rock? So she opted to have us out in the garden today to show off her beautiful garden, but also to have a chat in the beautiful weather because the sun is shining, and I'd like to share with you guys some insights. Let's begin. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So Nana, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you lived, where you grew up, a little history.
Okay. I was born in Werribee, lived there till I was 9, had to walk 3 miles every day when I was 6
Wow.
to get to school.
Yeah.
At that school, there was, I think, about 106 kids, and 10 of us were Australians. They were Italians and Greeks and all sorts, So, yes, that was interesting. Then we shifted. So my dad took me down there while he was fixing up the house, whatever had to happen, and he left me at a friend's place up the road, Come about 8 o'clock at night, where's Dad? He'd gone home where we shifted to in Clayton just while he could have a cow there and we'd milk that.
Yeah.
But he didn't come back for me.
Ah.
I had to ring up and see what was going on. Oh, he said, I've forgotten all about you. So he had to come back and get me.
So in terms of your upbringing, tell me how it's different to, say, my upbringing, like what you had to do schooling-wise. Obviously, you rode the horse to school sometimes.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah. Went to school at Stacey's Bridge when we first shifted, which is just out from Yarram. And yeah, I'd ride the horse to school. Just didn't like going across the river with the bridge across it. Did not like the noise of the bridge, but I soon got him used to that. And I'd gallop home like a mad thing on the horse, flat chat. And the bloke next door would ring up, Dad, your little girl's going to kill herself soon.
So moving to Geelong, let's fast forward to that.
Right.
Why did you come to Geelong?
I worked in Melbourne, could not stand it. Go home every weekend because it just did my head in. And if I didn't go home, I'd go to the zoo around the animals of an odd weekend. And I got a job. Mum and Dad went to school with the people that I got a place to stay.
Yeah.
I just went and did work around Geelong, a couple of different jobs.
Yeah, and then you met Ken?
Yeah, Ken was mates with the people I stayed with. He and one of the blokes, they worked together. So Ken was over there a lot. And then I start getting, I don't know, how'd you get messages then? I can't remember.
A bird.
A phone. This strange person would ring up and talk to me, but it wouldn't say who they were.
Yeah, right.
But 5 minutes ago he was at the place, then he'd go home and ring me up.
Love that.
Yeah.
So how long, you got married?
Yeah.
What age were you when you were married?
20.
20, yeah, right. And then Kerry came along at 21, you were 21?
Yes.
Yeah. Nana had 5 kids, so tell us a little bit about that. You've got Kerry, Bradley, Dean, Sally and Lloyd.
Yes.
So first one was Kerry. Where were you living, in Geelong?
Yeah, in with Nana. We were living with Nana.
Nana Collins.
Yes, because we didn't have a house.
Yep.
Then after that we shifted down to Ocean Grove and rented a place down there for a while, and then Brad was born down there. Oh, then we came into town and rented another house.
Not far from here.
Not far from here, yeah.
Yep.
Then we shifted out of that one over to the next road over, Port Arlington Road, and there was acres on it.
Yeah.
So that suited me just fine because I could go out and milk the cow, feed the calves, pigs, whatever I had, but I could make money there because I had the milk, the cream, the butter, everything like that. So we were pretty got no money because we were paying off the car. So
what was the car worth back then?
oh, lumpty-doo, I don't know. We bought a new one actually, a couple of thousand I'll say.
Yeah.
I don't know, can't remember that. That's
crazy.
minimal.
Many moons ago.
Many.
So you came here, all right, and you established a nice little house.
We lived over there for quite a while. Ken was building this place, but I got sick of living there, so one night when he come home, I cleaned out all the house we were in and got all the kids in the backyard, lit a fire, and we sat around the fire. When Ken come over, I said, right, we're getting in your car and we're going over to the new house. No, it's not finished, never mind, going.
That's great.
And over we came.
And what skills did he have? What was he doing?
Carpenter.
Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he'd built that all from scratch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
That's crazy.
Everything had to be perfect, mind you.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you didn't have doors on anything. And when you're a carpenter, you don't want to come home and do work like that. So it took me 20 years to get a few doors on things.
Got there though.
Yeah, we got there.
That's great.
We got there.
And then you got the carpet put down, and then you got the...
Oh, well, the first piece of carpet was, I'd say to my friends, drive through as you go into the rubbish tip because I might need something. And I got this whole roll of stuff out of the back of their car and run it down the passageway. It's the only way I was going to get any carpet. People had come across and they'd say, we're going to the tip, you better have a look. That's where I got most of my things from, the tip.
You made it work.
Yeah.
That's great.
And you never look to buy anything new or...
I found out that Kerry was having Hannah and I.
Yes.
How did you find out about that story?
Friend told me.
Really?
I said, you're telling jokes. So,
And then we were born.
yes.
And you looked after us, babysat.
Went into the hospital to see 2 new bubbles.
Oh, really?
Yes, went in there and give you a little bath in there.
I love that.
Yes, and then home you come, and Kerry stayed here with you two, and then she went out to...
Winchelsea Way?
Yeah, went. But then she'd come in and bring you to me,
Yep.
and I'd look after you.
Thank you.
Oh, there was funny things happening.
Yeah. We used to play tennis competitively as a child, and Nana used to take us to some of our tennis games. And Hannah and I would start little wars against each other, not the opponents. And tell the story, Nana.
Oh, murder. It was murder. I had to go away.
Yeah, it was bad.
People up the back were watching and going, and I thought, oh, what can I do? Nothing. You just fought with each other.
Didn't we?
You could have killed the other
Yeah,
side.
100%.
But you chose to fight. It's your turn, no, it's my turn. All that stuff. Oh,
How did you
Lordy.
sort us out?
Sort you two out?
Yeah.
I didn't sort you out. You come off the thing and I just said that was pathetic.
Love it.
That's pathetic.
We learned.
When you're over here teaching you to do... I can't do that. I said, you can sew.
One thing you used to say is keep your eye on the contraption.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Watch that contraption.
Yeah. Played a lot of tennis. We love playing tennis. Thank you to Nana. Let's go forward a little bit. Let's go into the 2000s. So you've moved into this part of the house, and things are quite swimmingly. They're doing well. She's a part of Lifeline. You've been a part. How long have you been a part of Lifeline?
36 years.
So what do you do there?
I sort out all the books that come in and put them in places to go out to other shops.
What got you into dealing with Lifeline?
Well, a lady round the corner came here one day and she said, I've got an appointment today and I can't make it to Lifeline. She said, will you go for me? I was railroaded. I got in there and I went over there and I said to the lady, I'd been there 5 minutes, and I said to the lady, this is a mess. I got in there and threw things in all directions. She said, thank goodness somebody's doing something. I pulled it to pieces.
That's
and
great.
put different
Re-established
nice
it.
things in there. And that shop over there, the dear little creatures had come down to the poor man at the end there with his fish and chips, and they put tyres in the roof and burnt his shop down, and of course it all went through us. So I had to leave there and then went over here to a little shop over
That's
here.
right. I remember going there when we were little.
Yes,
Yeah. Hiding and choosing clothes that we wanted. So in terms of our upbringing, how have you overseen that, just kind of being on the sidelines? How have you gauged Hannah and I's career choice? How has that been for you?
I gauged you with Kerry's help of being tough, very tough.
We're tough.
Yeah, but it has done a wonderful job for you
Yeah, for sure.
because you're beautiful now.
Well, thanks, Nana. Very grateful. I know, I really appreciate that. So what tips did you give us back in the day? I remember getting our first car. What were some tips that you said back then? Do you remember those?
I said, never buy anything unless you've got the money to buy it. And there you go, you saved up for your first car. Doesn't matter how ramshackle it is,
Isn't that?
you
She was
had
a
a
ripper.
car.
She was good.
Look at you, no bills, no nothing.
Very
You
grateful.
not get sucked into this rubbish they do these days. I've got to have that.
I'm happy to earn it or go without.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's the way to be.
sure.
And then you got no worries.
No, I've got no worries.
No
I'm
worries.
good making beautiful podcasts with people that inspire me. So let's talk about your toughness. You're quite a tough person. How do you think you've gained your toughness or your resilience?
Well, you had to deal for yourself, and you just had to be tough. I'm out there, I've got 5 children. I'm down the back milking the cows. You got to get tea at the right time when the husband comes home.
Yeah.
I work 3 jobs. I don't know. You just do it.
You just made it work.
You don't even think about it. When we bought this, after a week, I think Ken got 45 £1 a week.
Wow.
Yes. And we had 4 shillings left by the end of the week, and we'd go and say buy 2 oranges, and that was it. You just went without to get what you want. I don't know that that's tough, and I think it's just sense.
I think it's sense, but in this day and age, you can readily just grab something off the shelf and afterpay it, you know, use...
And then you look at it later on and you think, holy Moses, and then put yourself into more debt.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Not on with that at all.
No. So what advice could you give to someone who's wanting to kind of venture out into the workforce and they're quite new in it and they don't have a car or they've just come out of school? What advice could you give someone that's really new in the world of living?
Don't sit there and say nothing. Talk. Talk to anybody you find.
Yeah.
You'll find there's a message in it all.
I like that.
But you've got to get yourself out of that. Nobody else will live your life. You've got to live it. You just make friends by having a chat and talking, and you either click or you don't. I don't go out anywhere much now I used to run things. I used to run card night, and I'd run ladies' night somewhere. There was always some menace that had come in there, and you'd have a theme to do. But no, they wanted to talk about the cat. And that happened a few times, and I thought, I've had this.
You've done
I'm not putting up with this.
Yeah.
I was going, well, they were quite cross, I stopped.
In the last few years, you've lost some pretty important people in your life.
Yes.
Can you explain how you're dealing with that?
Yes, I can. I lost my husband, Ken, to cancer. It was such a shock because he was such a busy person, always working, doing something. He was going to one day and he said, oh, I've got a pain in here. And he's never complained. I said, you're going to the doctor straight away. He said, no, I'm not. So I rang the doctor and I said, now go to him. I've rung him. And you're going to him on the way to work. He never ever got to work.
Really?
He went straight to the hospital to have a check-out and he had cancer everywhere.
Whoa.
Yeah, so he lasted 6 weeks after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
We were 6 months old.
Yes.
And that was Kerry's birthday that he passed.
That's right.
Crazy.
Everything's gone pretty fine. Lloyd had a car accident and was killed in the car accident. So that was another shock. Then Dean, yeah. He had a melanoma or something in his head. And of course you don't know about it till late. He was in and out of hospital and home here and we tried to manage him. In the end he had to go back to the hospital. Yeah, and he passed away. Brad got something wrong with him. He was living up in Darwin and he'd been to doctors and they didn't know what they were doing at all. And he came down here to stay for a while and go to the doctors here and found out he had cancer. He just battled along for quite a while and then he passed away.
So you've lost your husband, 3 boys, all in that span, and then just recently, your sister.
Yes.
How do you deal? How do you cope? How are you so tough now?
You'd go ratty if you didn't cope, and you've got to make yourself cope. Whinging and whining doesn't help, but I look at it in the way of the Dean say, I can't do anything about it. He's under the doctors and he's being looked after, in and out of hospital. It is still a shock when he passed away, but I can't say what if, because I can't change anything. I can't say all these things that, oh, if all that. Don't touch it, because if you go there, you'll do your head in.
Yeah, for sure.
You've just got to put all those things behind you. You never forget, ever, but to look after yourself a little bit.
So what tricks and tips do you do to look after yourself? You crochet a lot?
I crochet, yeah. I do a lot of rugs for the foster children. Big garden.
Beautiful garden, besides the chickens getting in
the garden. Yes, Kate's mongrels of chickens have untidied it.
They're trouble.
They're trouble, all right. That's how I got this.
Share the story.
I was out here digging up my plants and I've got a golf stick that I took the end off and I generally threw it at them, but in that time I stayed in the yard to throw it at them and it got caught on the top of the thing and went like that and
come back and
got me. The chook just stood there looking.
Saying, what have you done?
Yeah.
We'll have a couple more conversations just in regards to, say, our upbringing. What have you noticed in terms of our upbringing, what you've noticed as a real positive?
Everybody's different. Doesn't matter whether they're twins or not. They're different. As you know, 5 children, all different.
Yeah.
You could growl at one and get something out of it. Growl at the other one, you might as well forget about it. You'll never get anything done. It's just so different. So with you two, you were different. How you deal with you or how you deal with her, just different.
What about a negative? Share a little negative. What's something that you see from the outside you'd like me to work on more?
You're perfect.
Oh, thank you, Nana.
You're
I
perfect.
do like criticism though. Give me some
I
criticism.
haven't got any.
Oh, not yet, not yet.
Oh, if I find it, you'll get
Oh,
it.
no, I'll cop
you'll
it straight
get it.
away. That's great.
Right where the chicken got the axe.
Yeah, right in your arm.
I can't find anything wrong with you. Isn't that
Oh,
funny?
that's great. I really like that. Thanks,
Not many
Nana.
people I can't
No.
find. Yeah, but you've been brought up good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm very grateful of my upbringing. Very
Yeah.
grateful.
You were done tough by,
Yeah.
but you had to suss it.
But I could be a victim or I could... Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah.
You could have been a sook-up victim,
Yeah, I could have been, for
but
sure.
you stood up for yourself.
I did.
Yes.
I had to.
You've got to.
Yeah.
Nobody else will stand
No,
up
that's
for
true.
you.
That's true.
Yeah, you've got to look after self. I can remember going out there one day. I took you a golf ball and a golf stick, and you didn't have one. And I thought, oh, she'll get a bit of enjoyment out of that. Well, you got behind the golf ball and put the stick up and went bang, and the ball went out of sight like you'd known how to play for 10 years.
Just hands-eye coordination.
And away it went. I thought, oh, I better bring some more out.
We hit the balls all over that paddock.
Yes.
Oh, that was good fun. That's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
That taught us some good hand-eye skills.
My word.
Aiming for the horse and the peacock. Yeah, no, that was good.
There's a lot of things you've got to be tough about. And bringing up your children, I don't mean belt them every day,
No.
like I got. I got belted every day.
Times change though.
Yeah.
Times have definitely changed.
Get your muscles out and do something for yourself.
Speaking of muscles, when I said that I was going into personal training, what was your interpretation of that? Because that's quite a relatively new industry. How did you know much about that?
No,
Do you know now?
I know more now. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. What are your thoughts when I said, no, I'm going to be a personal trainer?
I don't know what I thought actually. I thought, well, if that's what you've chosen, really good for you, because
Yeah.
that's what you want to do.
That's what I want to do. 14 years I've done it now.
Yes, good.
Time's gone
Good.
swimmingly well.
And you've done very well and met some very nice people.
Yeah, and had some great transformations
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Had some beautiful people.
That's the be all and end all.
You've met some of my clients as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah, they come in and see me. Anybody at all down the street where they're sitting in the gut of blotto,
Yeah.
I'll go and have a talk to them.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a wonderful story.
We'll go out for a coffee or a chai and we'll sit there and Nana will walk up to another table and literally just make friends with them, and I'm sitting there by myself and you've made a new friend, pretty much come back to your house and have a coffee. It's great. It's really good. It's a good
It
thing
is,
to... Yeah, I
it
think it is
is.
great. It's
No,
good.
I've learned a lot of things from just talking to people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all interesting. It doesn't matter what they're dressed in.
That's why I want to do podcasts. I want to chat with everyone. I want to have... Everyone's got something to say. Someone will
Yeah.
gain something from this chat.
Yes,
And it will be
yes.
great.
It's not being tough. I perhaps put the word resilient in there.
Yep.
What happens to you don't go off sooking. That gives me the pip. Probably kicked you in the bum if you did that before
For sure.
when you were a little kid.
Probably.
The day I put you in all beautiful dresses, you went out in the backyard and I gave you some water. Well, Hannah tipped hers over and she wanted yours. And you were fighting over it, and then it dropped and all the water went over the pair of you and you were soaked, the pair of you.
Fighting all over it.
Oh, yeah.
We've always been a little bit of a... But we're good like 10 minutes later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't stay there.
What's some health advice you would have read back in the 60s and 70s that's different to now?
Health advice? I never read a health advice in all my life.
There was no health advice?
There probably was,
Yeah.
but it didn't interest me.
Didn't worry you?
We were all eating good food off the farm.
Yeah, real food.
Yeah,
Real food.
yeah, all the time. I know we'd rented somebody's house, my friend's house, down in Ocean Grove. We were so broke we couldn't afford food, so I'd drive the car. Ken'd sit on the mudguard when we got to this certain place, I won't name it. There was rabbits running everywhere. So he had a silencer on his gun. Bang, 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 bang. There's 4 nights' food.
That's great. Dinner's sorted.
Yeah, you come home, well, I did it. Rabbit every way, fricasseed, however.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I can't stand rabbit.
No, I can't either. I don't want to look at them now.
Yeah, true.
But
True.
that's what kept us going.
What's your health advice for someone that's older that you would kind of give some, your 2 bob?
Right. Well, I played tennis till I was 75.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I got polymyalgia. That knocked the socks off me.
Yeah, that really did, hey?
I was on pills. You didn't know whether I had to give up tennis because you're not reliable.
Yeah, wow. What do you do to keep active now?
Garden mainly.
And you work with your fingers doing the crochet?
Yeah.
How many rugs have you done?
I think 200 and something.
So they go to the foster kids, and it's such a sweet thing to do. How did you make friends with this lady? How did you get on to making the rugs?
I just saw all the wool there and thought I'll do it. You've got to
Productive.
start somewhere. And then I made a few phone calls and found where they had to go. That's how that all went.
You're probably getting a bit warm now, so we'll wrap it up.
I am
but
totally cooked, thanks.
But I do want to have one more, I just want you to give one more little bit of advice to the listeners and watchers out there. What's something you could give for someone that's wanting to achieve something big in 2024?
Courage.
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 Say it to the camera now.
You don't give it to them. You help them through with courage.
I like that. Courage.
And do your own thing, what you want to do.
Well, you've gone through and had a lot of courage with a lot of things.
You
in
have
life.
to.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're down the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
right. I
Like
that.
a little sookie not knowing what to do. Get up and do it.
I love it. Hands-on attitude.
Yep, do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wrap that up. Thank you so much, Nana. I'll give you a handshake. Thank you so much. I love
Lovely.
it.
It was a pleasure.
I loved it. My
Good.
third podcast is now done. So thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Gym, and I'm excited for our next episode. Make sure you like and subscribe, and keep your eyes peeled for the next episode. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you. I better do that too.
Yeah.
KCPT